can you both speak more to if you were involved in other organizations, sort of how your boss experience is shaping or has shaped your experience while you were in law school, even after that, sort of the networking, the friends you have created. If you could speak more to that.
I'm a advocate of organizations like Balsa, because my first year, I thought it was just me having all these troubles and feeling cold and indifferent. It wasn't me; it was every other black student. And when you get together and share your issues and share your problems, you get a support base, okay? And I think that's good. Also, like I said, we brought down this Walter Leonard from Harvard to investigate. It just brought us closer together. And then you had the National Balsa Convention too, which we went to. I think one time we was in Atlanta. I never forget, our car broke down on the way back. It was supposed to have been a week. We spent like a week and a half because the car broke down. But you're meeting these folks from all over the country and networking and whatnot. And so I think not just Balsa, but everywhere you go, you need to, like say, if you teach in school, you have a Whiteberry Teachers Association. You need to have a little black caucus in there to really deal with your issues, because if you don't have your group, your issues will get lost in the bigger picture. So Balsa helped me, and I'm very much in favor of forming your little caucus groups, because all those other groups form their caucus. You may not know that they do, but they do, and they look out for themselves.
So because I'm an evening student, I haven't had the opportunity to be as active with Balsa as I would like. I am getting more involved this year and in the coming years. Recently taken on the role as community service chair for Balsa. It's funny, sort of the same challenges in terms of affinity groups are still present, not just on UConn's campus, but many college campuses. And I think Balsa still serves the same purpose. It provides students, regardless of what the affinity group is, it provides those students with a support system of people that are of common ethnicity, but also common concern and common background. And when you're sort of trying to figure out certain things, whether it's figuring out a system or figuring out a mode of operation, it's important that you have a connection to people that understand you culturally. That you can maybe, you may have an experience and you may say, well, I have this experience. Did you have this experience? Or somebody may make a comment and you might ask, well, how did you feel about that comment? Oh, I felt the same way. So I think it's good in that regard. Plus, I also, and this is, again, one of the blessings of having a father who has sort of come through the system already and growing up. I know that 10 and 20 years from now, the people that I'm currently involved with in Balsa are going to be my contemporaries in the legal field. They're going to be future judges and justices. They're going to be future public servants. So they may not know that, but I already know that. And so I think it's a blessing to sort of see the growth and development and to have people that, like I said, 10, 20 years from now, that I'll be able to probably call my law school classmates.
I want to add to something in case some students are or will be listening to the presentation. One of the things I think is important, even though you should definitely become a member of Balsa and form your caucuses, study groups, I think it's important to have diverse study groups. What am I talking about? I know in my day, if we blacks just study together, we have a similar viewpoint. I think it's important to be able to study with Jewish, Italian, Irish, and get a 360 viewpoint of the issues. That's crucial. I learned that, later. Okay. Yes, your caucus is good, but you need to study with your study group should be very diverse and broad, so you get all the viewpoints.